Disclaimer: this blog post is a personal reflection, a glimpse into my own thoughts and imagination. I understand that topics like consciousness, creation, and spirituality can be deeply personal and sometimes even taboo. My intention isn't to undermine anyone's beliefs or to present my ideas as absolute truth. I respect all religions, doctrines, and spiritual practices, and if you found your way here, I hope that respect is mutual. I'm not claiming to have all the answers or to speak for any particular philosophy or faith. Instead, I'm simply sharing where my mind goes when I let it wander, exploring possibilities and entertaining what-ifs. If you choose to read on, I hope you do so with an open mind and a light heart, knowing that these are just my musings, not a lesson, not a doctrine, just thoughts on a page. Seeing the universe as a thought. I've been sitting with these thoughts for a while now, letting them swirl around in my mind like clouds on a windy day. I don't have any grand answers, honestly. I'm not sure if answers even exist. But what I do have is this mental map, a collection of ideas and questions about where everything comes from, how we got here, and what it all might mean. I'm just following the thread, seeing where it leads. I guess if I had to start somewhere, it would be with nothing. And not the kind of nothing we can imagine, not darkness, not silence, not even emptiness. I could only assume that this was a nothing so complete, so absolute, that it wasn't even an absence, it simply was. And then, somehow, from this nothingness, something began. Maybe it was a spark, a feeling, or a thought. Whatever it was subtle, more like a quiet nudge in the void than a dramatic explosion. This is where consciousness comes in. Not a being with a name or a face, but a raw, formless awareness. It's hard to describe, like trying to explain water to a fish. Consciousness wasn't physical. It wasn't a who or a what. It was just there, and maybe it started to stir. Perhaps it felt something, an itch of curiosity, a pulse of possibility. And that first feeling, that first brush against the void, gave birth to energy. Energy in its rawest form is like potential waiting to be realized. It's the hum before a melody, the blank canvas before the first stroke of paint. It moved, twisted, and wove itself into patterns, like threads in an invisible tapestry. And over time, or perhaps through intention, these patterns condensed. Energy slowed down, became denser, and eventually transformed into matter. The universe unfolded, not as a place, but as a mind, a boundless, infinite mind, where every star, every planet, every grain of sand existed as a thought within it. Where does the Creator end and creation begin? But here, where my thoughts start to stretch. What if the universe isn't just a dream of consciousness, but also an experience of itself? Not just consciousness looking down at creation from the outside, but also living through it from the inside out. It's not just an observer watching life play out. It's also the blade of grass, the river current, the heartbeat. It's living through every perspective, seeing itself through every set of eyes. This idea pulls me in because I'm a writer. I love creating fictional worlds, building universes from scratch. I'm working on a book right now, and it's the same process, starting with nothing, then imagination, then creation. When I'm world building, I'm meticulous. Every detail matters, from the laws of nature in this fictional universe to the motivations of each character. I'm not just making things up, I'm giving life to something that only existed in my mind. And the characters, they aren't just names on a page. They have depth, desires, flaws. I create characters I love, characters I hate, and characters I don't fully understand. And the truth is, I can't always predict what will happen to them. The story unfolds as I write it, and sometimes it feels like I'm discovering the plot rather than inventing it. The fates of these characters, their choices, and the worlds they inhabit are like a domino effect, a quiet storm building up, waiting to manifest. When I write, I'm practically playing God. I'm creating the narrative, but I'm also living through it. It's not just about putting words on a page. It's about slipping into the mindset of my characters, seeing their world through their eyes. The world I've built exists within me, but when I'm in the story, that world is all there is. It's their reality. And I think this might be how the Creator, the infinite intelligence, the consciousness that birthed everything, operates. We all come from that same consciousness, just like my characters come from me. And I wonder if this is how the Creator, the infinite intelligence, the consciousness that birthed everything, operates. Maybe it's not just creating from a distance, but also living through every piece of its creation. The universe isn't just something it made. It's something it's actively experiencing from every angle, through every being. Just like my characters are born from my imagination, maybe we are all expressions of that same boundless consciousness, living out its own story through us. Earth, the playground of creation. And then there's Earth, this little blue dot in the vast dreamscape of the universe. It's a physical realm with its own set of rules, gravity, time, seasons. It's a place where energy has solidified into form, where everything has a cause and effect. Science helps us make sense of it, mapping out the hows and whys of the physical world. But sometimes, I wonder if science is just the surface layer of a much deeper process, like the visible thread of an invisible tapestry, the physical expression of a metaphysical truth. The elements earth, water, fire, and air intertwine to create life. They are the building blocks, the foundation upon which everything else rests. Rocks and minerals form the bones of the planet. Plants stretch up from the soil, drawing life from the sun. Everything feels purposeful, each piece fitting into a larger mosaic. And then, of course, there are the animals. They live with this beautifully simple existence, following the quiet rhythm of nature. Whether they're predators, prey, or somewhere in between, their purpose is clear: survival and reproduction. It's not a complicated script. Birds build their nests, wolves hunt in packs, bees work as a collective. Every creature has its role, moving instinctively through its life, contributing to the balance of the world without ever needing to question it. And then there's us, humans. We share that same basic purpose to survive and reproduce, but we're a whole different story. We're like the plot twist no one saw coming. We aren't just living to live. We're making things up as we go. We're complex. We create problems and then invent solutions. We build entire worlds inside our minds and then find ways to bring them into reality. It's almost like somewhere along the way, we took that primal instinct to reproduce and turned it into a full-blown creative superpower. Plot twist: how humans turned survival into art. What makes us different? I think it's that we don't just exist, we create. And not just in the baby-making sense, though that's a pretty literal form of creation. We create ideas, objects, experiences, entire realities. We take raw materials, whether it's wood and stone or thoughts and dreams, and we shape them into something new. Think about it. What do we walk on? Shoes that humans created. How do we get around? Transportation that didn't exist until someone imagined them into being. Even money, this abstract concept that rules so much of our lives, is just another human invention. And then there's the system we built around it, the jobs, the markets, the whole exchange of time for currency. It's like we've constructed this elaborate game, and now we're all playing along. Some folks call it the Matrix, but whatever it is, it's undeniably man-made. We wake up every day, and whether we realize it or not, we are constantly creating. Our thoughts, our actions, the little decisions we make, they all ripple out, shaping our world. And it's not always grand. Sometimes creation is as simple as making breakfast or writing a text. But even those small acts are a form of creation. I think back to how animals only really have two main goals: to survive and to reproduce. Their lives are instinctual, guided by nature's blueprint. But with us, it's different. Sure, we need to survive. We need food, water, shelter, connection. And yes, reproduction is part of it too. But we also took that reproductive instinct and expanded it into everything else. We reproduce not just life, but ideas, stories, innovations. Our creativity isn't just a part of us, it's kind of the whole point. And it all starts in the mind. Just like how the creative consciousness had a thought that became energy and then matter, we do the same thing. We imagine, we feel, we act, and then something new exists. When an artist paints, when a chef cooks, when a writer spins a story, or even when someone organizes their home, plans a meal, or solves a problem at work, it's all the same process. It's thought turned into reality, the metaphysical becoming physical. Whether it's a masterpiece or a mundane task, creation is always happening, proving that all of us are creators in our own way. As above, so below. Reflection. Consciousness itself is just being aware. And as humans, where do we experience this awareness? Is it through our senses, what we see, hear, touch, smell, taste? Is it in our bodies, where we feel everything from a breeze on our skin to a rush of adrenaline? Or is it deeper than that, somewhere in the mind, or maybe even beyond it? Sometimes I wonder if our awareness is everywhere, woven through our entire being. When we stop thinking, when we sit in silence, when we fall into deep sleep, when we let go of all the labels and stories, what's left? Just that awareness, that simple presence. You're not your thoughts, not your body, not even your name. You're just there, existing in this moment, in this vast nothingness that is also everything. And in those rare, quiet moments when the world falls away and only stillness remains, I think we touch that original consciousness. When I meditate, or when I'm so deep in a creative process that I lose track of time, it feels like I'm slipping back into that place where everything started, where there was nothing, then a feeling, then energy, and finally the world. And then life pulls me back in. I hear a sound, I feel an itch, I get a text. Suddenly, I'm back in the story, back into the role I was created to experience. The world around me fills in with color and noise, and I'm playing the part again. But that feeling sticks with me that maybe, just maybe, I'm not just a character in this story. I'm also the storyteller. That's why I think we're so creative. It's not just a talent or a skill, it's our nature. We are creators because we are extensions of that original creative consciousness. We're here on Earth, this physical plane, and we experience it through our own creations. Some of us build, some of us imagine, some of us simply live through the worlds others have created. But all of us are part of this infinite loop of creation and experience. And I don't know where this all leads. I'm not sure when we die, if we go to some kind of afterlife, or if we just merge back into that original nothingness. It's one of those mysteries I've made peace with not knowing. I began this journey with questions, wandering thoughts about creation, consciousness, and the universe as a boundless mind. And now, as I draw these musings to close, I find myself right back where I started, with more questions than answers. But maybe that's the point. Just as the universe might be an infinite thought exploring itself, perhaps our own curiosity is an echo of that same creative impulse. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not here to offer truths or teach lessons. These are just thoughts on a page, musings from a mind that enjoys wandering the edges of what might be. If you've made it this far, I hope you felt a bit of that curiosity, too. Maybe my words sparked a thought, a feeling, or even a quiet nudge in the void of your own imagination. I think that's the beauty of creation, whether it's a universe, a story, or a single moment of awareness. It doesn't have to make perfect sense. It just has to exist to be experienced. And maybe, in the end, being here, fully present, fully alive, following our threads wherever they lead, that's enough. Because as creators, as dreamers, as storytellers, all we ever really do is explore the questions, let our minds wander, and see where it all takes us.